Hey, Decathlon Gamer, welcome back to PCM22. It's Classics Puncher, episode 55, also known as the final episode. We are down to just 16 kilometers left in this one, and this is already our final race, but it is a 6-stage race. We're on stage number 2, and we won the first stage, which happened to actually be just our third win of the year. And as we go for this final run in, we're already down to 11k, but I had 3 riders that have been used extensively to set us up because we lead the race, so they've had to do a lot of work at the front. And today I do not have the kind of support that I had on previous days, not even close. We do have walls. I've only got a +1 even though I'm supposed to have a +3. It's not looking like the kind of day where we're going to repeat what we did in stage 1, but if we can, we'll grab ourselves a podium and hopefully have ourselves in position to pick up a few additional seconds, which, by the way, yes, 10, 6, and 4 seconds for top 3. We're down to now 8.5k. Grabbing onto the back end now. And is that everybody up here? Yes, we have a full team. Hold guard's already done and was actually starting to slow down, so on to Camna. Get us back up to speed quickly enough. George, help. Words. Helping to break toe on those behind us as Camna runs out of energy. 5k now, and that means it's definitely time to gel up. And I am now 4th in line with Conrad and a -4. Not lasting long at all. 4k to go with about half a kilometer off from kind of where we want to be right now. So as we go inside 3k at least, Guerrero not hurting walls, not hurting myself. We're looking really good. 2.5k to go. You transcend yourself this late. Good. 2k to go. Walls starting his sprint. We are not in the top position, but here he goes getting us out there, and now we're going to take off and go for the line. Are we going to make it 2 for 2? We're out of red bar. They could easily overtake me, but they do not. In fact, I win by 3 seconds. Time gap, not likely, but back-to-back stage wins. Oh, hell yeah. There's good riders here. Viviani, Matthews, Drisners, Gazzoli. There are plenty of capable sprinters in this field. Christophe Laporte finished 19th. Stage 3 of 6, and it's flat enough to still be considered a sprint stage, but it's punchy enough to rule out potentially some of the sprinters. But with a +4 race day condition today, actually getting a +1, we haven't had much of that in a while. We've been neutral or negative in most stages really for just about months here. +1's not much of a plus, but at least it's a plus, and could probably use it today. That 65 mountain might have struggled with that climb at the end, but it definitely won't struggle now. 70 mountain, 80 on the hills, and a really solid sprint and stamina, so we've definitely got a chance here. 53k to go. We are going to want to get the team in position before too long. The breakaway, just 3 riders in just over a minute, and we are the ones, of course, keeping it in check. So some of my riders are being used up during this phase of the race because, I'm the race leader. I've got a 20-second advantage over the bulk of the field outside of those few guys that picked up some time, so besides us. And here we go into kind of round number 4 of this. You had gentle uphill slope, then it gets a little bit steeper through here, but short. Descend again. A lot of switchbacks, and then steep to the top. 118 left in the peloton, but it's back together. Breakaway's already gone. Max Cantor has withdrawn. That would have been a sprinter, or at least a lead-out sprinter for Movistar. And we now have 26k to go, so we're going to want to get team in position. Let's get these guys kind of up behind me, and those two are clearly the weakest. We want Walls as the lead-out guy. Holgard is nearly out of energy, so he's going to go there. George is out of energy, and Guerrero will protect, but he'll jump in behind Conrad here shortly. Only 2 guys in good shape, though, at this phase of the race, so that is absolutely a concern. Let's up our effort to make sure we hold the position. This could be a tricky one. Could be a tricky one. Next stage, though, with a punchy finish, is going to be the toughest stage to get through. And we'll definitely need that +3 tomorrow. Okay, here's that gentle uphill slope, and we will reset after this one because we're down to 10K. So these guys have recovered a little bit. That's good. Let's get Guerrero in position. That's Guerrero on his wheel. Where's the rest of the team? Still not here. Conrad, come on. George, we don't need to worry about. Conrad, last one coming into position, and we're already starting the uphill slope. But Holgard finishes his task from the front. Kamna, though, minus a billion today, and he's going to have to push on because we're going to go uphill here shortly. Holgard to the back. Holgard, get out of the way. And Kamna leads over the top. And it's now 5K to go.
We're into the last 5 kilometers.
And gel up.
Oh my, the guys up front aren't going
Guerrero
to make
walls,
it
there I
today.
am. And we just split the field. Conrad's not here, so Guerrero sprinting it inside 3K, now 21 riders. That was the last punchy bit. Walls 1.9, huh? Little early, but we do have a right-hander coming up. I'm going to let him continue to hold on. 5 riders left. Walls, Konyachev. Oh gosh, now it's 400 meters. That took that long. Come on, acceleration. Come on, acceleration. Make it 3. Make it 3. We got it. Yes, we do. Okay, I did not wait too long. On third straight victory here with Halverson. Walls grabs third. Konyachev with a Tau. Will they split the field? Because that is very much a split field. There's the bulk of the field coming in, a minute down. My guess is Pernsteiner was a few seconds ahead of Sivikov, but Pernsteiner gets the same time as us at the front of the field. It was a sprint stage. We knew it was inevitable that they were going to do that, but with time bonuses, we now have a 22-second lead over Machete and Viviani, 23 over Konyachev. We're looking at 30 to the pack, to the field, 15th and below. So 14 riders have gained time, mostly from the breakaways. Next stage, though, should see some time separations with a punchy finish. That's the one, if we can hang on and not lose time. I'm not thinking about winning the stage, but if we can avoid losing time, then we should win this race overall. This is the stage that matters. If we can avoid losing time here, we should win the race overall. In fact, we're already close enough that with just 2 more stages after this one, we would just about have it wrapped up after today, potentially, depending on how this stage actually does go. But with 23K to go, we are going to set our train up here fairly soon. The break is already nearly reeled in, so they are just about a done deal, as it's only a minute away, and they were already splitting apart a little bit, and their gap is getting low. 18K to go. And the final climb here is 6K, 6%, or just shy of both of those marks. That one, with a +5 today, feels like it could be just about enough. And with that +2 on a race day condition, I think we are just about neutral now over the last handful of races when it came to race day condition. Conrad, Kamna, the 2 guys that kind of matter for this one, are both in good shape to help us out and lead us out. I think Guerrero's also a decent one. Yes, he is. Just gonna have to just go first. George is already at the front. We're at 16.7K. Wait just a little bit longer to kind of pull out front. I don't want to go hard on this. This is going to be more about kind of protecting. And there's already a response here with that acceleration. You see it's not hurting me towards the back end of this. You know, George going 186 to try to hang on. Meanwhile, I'm doing 157. So I'm glad we already set that up. No more break after that attempted attack that failed to get away. And we're looking good now with 9K to go. 7K. Okay. Come around this corner will put us in that position. So George, let's get you out front. He is not a climber, so he needs to be pushing pretty hard to get us out front and hold us out front now. We're not trying to attack here, so you know, Balmer going for it is fine. We just need to keep him kind of in check. One thing I was thinking about doing was putting myself not at the back of the group, but you know, just kind of near the front. 3.8K, George is done. We're going to move on to Holgard to keep things moving along, but we don't need to go a 99 for the time being. And George can drop to the back and protect. Let's ride with George as Holgard kind of continues on. And that's it for that one. 3.4K, so you know it's going fairly quickly here. Let's also gel up now. And Walls can, I think, push maybe at 97. And Holgard drop to the back. And go this way first, so you do not block us off. And here comes the latest attack from Quentin Hermans and Fisher Black. Walls is done. So on to Guerrero 2.9. 96. Okay. How well can we kind of chase these guys down and keep them in check? 1.9 now. So on to Conrad. And this is our stronger guys finally. 1.6. Conrad can't get through though. So Kamna, start your sprint. Just try to fight through this a little bit. 900 meters. But the good news here is we did not need to win. We just need to not get dropped. And that is something we clearly are doing, except for two riders. Those same two that were trying to attack before are gaining a slight advantage. They're going to get 10 seconds for the win. They might get 16 seconds for this small gap. Gall and Skjelmos. It's not the same two guys, actually. And I'm right near the front. Hermans, Plop, Goossens, Fisher Black. 8th on the stage. If we're losing time, it's only to the top two guys. Now, they certainly hadn't gained time previously, those two. But they might have gained a little time here. But I think we're still in a very good position, potentially still in the race lead. Most likely, actually. They do pick up 18 seconds, plus the 10-second time bonus, so Felix Gall is just 2 seconds behind as Skjelmos. So they both move into the podium, but otherwise it was same time. And for pretty much everybody, I'm thinking. Yeah, they were the only ones who got time gaps. Down to Thomas DeGent in 160 billionth position. So we get 3 minutes of separation all over the place on the last stage and can't get gaps. Here, they don't give gaps anywhere except for right at the front. They did have it. Legitimate gaps. I had a legitimate gap on the last stage and we didn't get it. But that was classified sprint. This is classified punchy. There is a difference, even if there's no difference. Stage 5, and as we enter the final 100 kilometers of this one, no guarantees here, but it is looking pretty good that I will at least hang on and not lose time today. And the two riders that are closest behind me are punchers, not sprinters, so they shouldn't be a threat to gain time. And then meanwhile, the other sprinters are more than 10 seconds back. So theoretically, with just 2 stages to go, I'm probably not facing too many threats for the overall. Today, as a target, this stage looks maybe difficult because we have these 3 climbs to go through, and I've got 4 teammates with negative race day conditions plus Walls. He's got a +2. He's okay. But I'm probably not going to have the greatest support by the end of the stage, potentially. If we do, then we still have a shot at another stage. Plus, there's the next stage. So we do have, 2 stages to get through here. But with the +4, I think I'm at least fine to get out of this one, still in one piece. My other target for the race, besides maybe winning another stage and definitely winning the overall, is to try to claim all 3 jerseys, not just 2. I have the overall race lead and the under 25s lead, That's obviously the main target, but the secondary target is to get that green jersey as well. Hang on for the points, but I'm not fighting for intermediate sprint points here, as there's only points for the top 3. The breakaways always have that and more. And so as we head into the plane here, let's the effort to about an 81 to hang on. Guerrero is already tired. Conrad is pretty tired and getting water at the worst possible time. And we hang on over, well, the second of 3 climbs there, going 3, 2, 1 in category. Oh, come on, can just did that as I slowed down 1 speed. Does that random pause totally messes up the field. It doesn't do nothing. It doesn't roll it back. It really does mess up the game when that happens. Gap to the front group, I think, went out by about 30 seconds as a result. I'm getting it bent down to about 45. But we are okay. We now have 29k to go, and we're heading for the finish with a sprint coming. Catching those guys is not going to be the easiest, and the field just split. Just 21 now at the front, now 47, now 31, as it continues to yo-yo with 20k to go. Now Holgard's trying to get water because we never did get the water from Conrad. 14k. Brake's been caught. 68 in the field. I've got 3 guys to lead this thing out, so we're going to have to wait till fairly late to go for that one. Let's go ahead and make sure our position holds. And Holgard's done. So we've got Kemna, we've got Walls. Walls trying to get in position. Needs to get in position. 6k to go. At least we have Walls. And Kemna has a 76 flat, so at least we have that as well. There's Walls. There I am. Let's give us a little bit of energy. We're okay. 4k. 3.1. That's why we waited late. Transcend. And let's go for it. Big left-hander right here. 2.5k. These guys are already sprinting. 2k out. 1.7. 1.4, so Walls is now going to go. And then I'm going to go 800 meters. Come on, where's that acceleration? Where's that acceleration? We're not going to get the win today, are we? Are we? We are. We are. 4 for 4 from sprints in this race. Dang. Nice. You know, Gazzoli's got an 80 sprint, but maybe he is a little fatigued here late in the season. He's been there or thereabouts, though, so if he is carrying negatives, he's not carrying major negatives. Final stage, huge breakaway, 20 riders in it, but only a 2.5 minute advantage. We've got Guerrero out in that breakaway as they are splitting apart, going for the intermediate sprint, apparently. I've got that one probably wrapped up. Probably. We've certainly got the overall wrapped up. Now all we can fight for is maybe that one more stage. But let's take some time to reflect on the series as we race out our final stage of this career. Good way to end, obviously, with 4 stage victories, an overall victory for at least 5 victories added to our tally. We only had 2 this season. It's been a tough year with Bora Hansgrohe to do much. Now I'm the leading scorer. I've scored 2/3 of all Super Prestige points that the team has earned this season. 2/3, just to me, and that's without very many victories. That's just consistent top 10s, top 5s over and over and over again. But the reason why it's not a lot of victories is because we're not first tier anywhere. The series for me has been awfully stressful, disappointing, because the profile of which we are working with is not how it should go. It's how it can go. But the odds of having the draws that we've been having, as bad as we've been having, is absurdly low. Probably a 5% chance that the development of this rider could be as bad as it has turned out. Every time you level up and have attribute points, there is a random element to that draw, but there is probability to that draw. You have maximum potential, you have minimum potential, and depending on how far your attributes are away still how short you are of that potential, you're going to draw points. And like I said, it is an element of that is random. But the further away from your maximum you are, the more points you are likely to draw. Our mountain rating is nowhere near its set maximum. I think the maximum was a 77. We're 65. We have not been able to draw more than a single point for mountain throughout this series. Our hills rating should be able to push about an 83. 76 is nowhere near that this late in the development of the rider. Cobble has gotten there, but it could still be an 85, right? We have like 5 levels left. 19k to go here. I'm going to slow it down. I think I have 5 level ups left. I think we've done 15 of the 20 level ups. 5, okay? Cobble rating alone is still 4 away. So that's, and at this point, this late, you're looking at 1 point of cobble kind of per. But you got to take the classics to get it. You're not going to get it for taking sprint. You're not going to get it for taking puncher. You're not going to get it for taking climber or stage race or anything besides classics. We have 5 level ups, and yet we're 4 away from our primary category. Which means realistically, theoretically, we should be taking cobbled for 4 of those 5. Or 3 of those 5. Puncher is supposed to be our secondary category. It should be pushing above 80 at this point. Our cobble rating should be an 82 or 83 at this point. They're nowhere near what they're supposed to be. And that mountain should be in, right now, with 5 levels to go, this is what I would think our rider should look like. Flat, 79, 80. Cobble, 82 to 83. Stamina is fine. Resistance, 76, 77. But based on profile, 74 is okay. Sprint, yeah, probably a 76. Acceleration should not be an 83. It is too high, and it's been the one place where we are drawing points. And is it helpful? Sure. Is it what we should have? No. I mean, we should have about a 77 sprint and about an 80 acceleration. But our mountain rating should be about a 72 right now. 7 points higher than it is. Without doing anything crazy or special, based on what the maximum is. Based on taking puncher. Based on trying to take climber over and over again without ever having a realistic draw on those for probably the last 6-7 levels in a row without getting a probable outcome. And our hills rating should be at least an 80, if not at an 81 or 82. At this stage, with 5 levels to go, we should be hitting multiple attributes much higher than they are, and only one has exceeded what I would expect of it at this stage. And because of that, this difficulty level combined with these really bad draws have made this such a challenging series. I do recall, and I'm sorry, about 30 episodes, that frustration started to show itself. And I definitely took to complaining about a few things within the game. And here's that, and kind of the justification on it. I shouldn't have. I mean, I was frustrated with how things were going. But the development of Pro Cycling Manager has been subpar for a very long time. Based on the size of the team, they keep giving excuses every year that because of the size of the team, they can only do so much. much smaller teams. Indie developers do more development than Cyanide has given us. And what are they developing on? I mean, they add a couple new features every year, and there's minor features. They're features that a week or two or a month worth of work can design, code, and fix bugs and implement it. We're not talking about a heavy development cycle where a lot is happening. It's been very, very minor stuff. But Pro Cyclist mode in particular hasn't even had an update in 3 years. So yeah, I was frustrated. I shouldn't have just let that out though. And I noticed during the few episodes where I really kind of let it out, I did notice that the viewership of the series fell off a little bit. It did. And that's on me. You gotta deal with the cards you're dealt. And at that point, I kind of just tried to buckle down and get on with it with this series. And hey, I mean, we've at least had some results. Oh, come on. Walls goes to start his sprint, and I try to pull out and won't. 700 meters. Take to the outside. Come on. No idea what's going on. We're not going to win this one. Gazzoli takes the win, and we actually miss the podium. We get 4th today, but we do win the overall quite comfortably. So we'll go out with 5 wins at the Tour of Guangxi, which is pretty damn good. European Championship, 1 proper classic, no monuments, but we did get the green jersey. And then that was the thing. Sprinter was never our profile, but as a cobbled puncher, the combination of those two combine well with a decent amount of sprint. And that's what we are. We are a decent sprinter at a 76.83. But that's the only one that has materialized properly. The Classics one, right? The points are below. The puncher one is miles below. And as a puncher, you should be a decent climber, right? Like I said, our maximum for that is a 77. 12 points below with only 5 levels left. And we have not had a single upgrade where climber came with more than a +1, or mountain came with more than a +1. And so for me, hugely disappointing. I'm glad to go out with some success. Let's go ahead and check our rankings, because believe it or not, it's actually pretty good. We hit level 24 for that last one. We get a skill point, but it's not an attribute one, so we do come up short on that. 1 more to go to get there. And you can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, kind of 5 sets, because it's 3 levels at a time now. So yes, 5 levels remaining. It means we are level 15 out of the 20 levels in terms of level ups. You can see our new home Quick Step, strongest team out there. Bora, 12th, down to 12th. With that win, with the success of the Tour of Guangxi, I move all the way back into the top 5 for World Tour rankings this year, with Pogacar, best rider in the world, Van Aert, Ayuso, 4th best. And then in the Super Prestige, so good that I'm actually on the podium, comfortably on the podium. Top 3, we are well above everybody else. 3rd best rider in the world. So not what we would have hoped for in terms of how this series should have gone, could have gone, how I wanted it to go. For whatever reason, every time that I try to do something besides a stage racer, where I go out and dominate those, I love doing that one, but I keep wanting to find a different profile. Now, sprinter alone, I mean, come on, that one's too easy. It is so easy to take a sprinter and, get 83 or get 84 or 85 out of a sprinter, because it doesn't take anything else to feed that profile, especially if you throw in like Berdor with it, and you get like an 84 flat and an 85 sprint and an 84 acceleration, and you'll have like an 82 stamina. You win every race. Absolutely every single one of them, especially when your team starts supporting you and you get lead out riders, right? With a 76 sprint here, we still managed to get quite a few wins. Imagine what we would have been doing with an 84 sprint every time. Those victories at the end, those 5 victories at the end, see us climb 137 spots to 25 in the victories department. And as a team, second in the World Tour rankings, which we were 3rd entering that race, so I bumped us up a spot, and 3rd in the Super Prestige with 7,269 points. And how many of those did I have? A third. Right? It still finished out where we were before the race in terms of kind of that overall balance of it. But yeah, a third of the points for the entire team. And it's a pretty good team. Might have only had 2 wins prior to the Tour of Guangxi, but one of those was the European Championship, and we won the green jersey. And then, top 10s, top 5s, top 3s, over and over and over again. Just not a lot of pure victories. And that's just based on that profile we had as a rider. So for me, I'm a little bit happy to be moving on, because it has been stressful, has been challenging, and I do want to have fun. I want to have fun with this. I do care about you as an audience, and I care about you having fun, but I'd like to have fun as well while we're doing this. And at times this series was not fun, but I'm happy with the way we've finished this one up. Now we are halfway through the development cycle until PCM24, and I do have another series coming. It is not Pro Cyclist mode. I'm ready to see an update for it. I'm ready to not play the same thing over and over and over again. We're heading back to career mode, and we are going to take one of those new features from this year and do something with that. Now it is going to go alongside the other career mode series. I am probably going to flip them though. This Pro Cyclist mode has been the twice a week, where that has been the 3 times a week. I'm probably going to turn that into the 2 times a week on the Pro Cyclist days. And then I will be taking the new series and making it 3 times a week. Before that happens, though, I'm going to take the remainder of this week off, and then next week we will flip that one. Career mode will continue on through this week, and we'll get started in about a week's time on the new series. That's going to do it for this one. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sticking with me for these 55 episodes of Pro Cyclist mode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.